Today we are going to see ninth chemistry topic chemical bonding. Into that chemical bonding, especially we are going to discuss in this class about coordinate covalent bond. Okay, so So first, what is covalent bond? You know that already covalent bond means the bond formed between the two atoms, generally a bond. But how the bond is formed? We know that the bond formation involves electrons. And how many electrons involves a single bond means there are two electrons involved. Where it comes from? So the electron maybe comes from only from the outer shell electrons. Okay. So here if you take a covalent bond, the bond formed between the two atoms, okay, and the electrons, the two electrons maybe comes from the two atoms. So for example, if I am going to take A as one atom and B as one atom, okay. So the A and B, between the two atoms only one bond has formed. Let us assume this should be a covalent bond. Okay. So if it is a covalent bond, A atom gives one electron and B atom gives one electron. So those electron comes from the outer shell. Okay. So here there is a mutual sharing of electrons between two atoms takes place. And whenever this forms a covalent bond, so A gives one electron, B gives another electron. Usually you can give the name as a covalent bond. And today we are going to discuss about coordinate covalent bond in some compound formation. Okay, so let us take the same, that is a bond should be formed in between the two. Okay, so how that coordinate covalent bond forms? A, as we know, A has an electron and B atom also electron. But here A atom has a lone pair of electrons. This lone pair of electron is called unshared electron pair, and unshared lone pair of electron that should be located on the atom. Okay, and B also has an electron, no doubt. But here there is a transformation of the electron entirely. The two electron is going to transfer to the, that is involved in the bond formation. So whenever this two electron, okay, it is involved in the sharing. So by using of this, a bond should be formed. Okay. So we are only one atom gives a electron for the bond formation. So this is called a coordinate covalent bond, and this usually coordinate covalent bond that should be represented by the headed arrow mark. Okay. So whenever the bond is formed in between the two atoms, okay, by sharing of a electron only from one atom. So a bond formed between two atoms, okay, by sharing of electrons, okay, electrons from only one atom. This is called a coordinate covalent bond. Okay. Now usually this coordinate covalent bond, the other name, that is other name is, we can call it as a dative bond. Okay. Usually which molecule involved in the dative bond? Generally dative bond involves the sharing of electrons. Okay. So if the atoms in a molecule, for example, if I am taking ammonia molecule, okay, let us explain. In that ammonia molecule, nitrogen has one unshared pair of electron. That is so far we called a lone pair of electron. this lone pair of electron only it is going to share with the another atom. So by using of this shared pair of electron, we can get a coordinate covalent bond or dative bond. So generally, if you want to form a dative bond means a molecule that should be involved. Those molecules should have an atom with the lone pair of electron. So molecule contains atom, okay, contains an atom. That atom should have a lone pair of electron. This is a necessary condition for a molecule to exhibit a coordinate covalent bond. So definitely if you are taking a molecule, in that molecule we have an atom, and any one of the atom that should have a lone pair of electron. Those lone pair of electron only we are going to share with the another atom. By using of this we can form a coordinate covalent bond. Okay. Next, if you take a atom, okay, if you take a atom, so atom that donates, okay, that donates electron pair. Usually the atom that donates an electron pair called donor atom. Okay. So if you are taking an atom that donates an electron pair, it contains an electron pair and that has to be donated to the other atom. That is mean involved in the bonding. Okay. So those we can call it as a donor atom. Okay. Atom that accepts the electron pair. Okay. That atom that accepts an electron pair are called acceptor atom. Okay, what is called an acceptor atom. And by using of this donation and the acceptation, we can form a coordinate covalent bond. And usually this coordinate covalent bond, we are using this symbol. Okay, it donates it. There is a passage of electrons, okay, from one atom to the another atom. Okay, that is one part to the another part. So this is called a coordinate covalent bond symbol. So this symbol indicates that there is a passage of electrons from one atom to the another atom. So this is passage of electron from one atom to another. Okay. So this is how we can explain the formation of a coordinate covalent bond. Okay. Next we can explain this by taking of an example. Next we are going to take how the formation of a covalent, that is coordinate covalent bond. Okay. We will consider take two atoms. So first consider two atoms. That is two atoms. I can name it as A and B. Okay. So here the A as, okay, A as unshared pair of electron. A atom has an unshared pair of electrons. Okay. And the same way if you take a B. So suppose you have to take that the B as a short of two electrons. B should have a short of two electrons for its octet in the valence shell. So what is a short of two electron means? The atom should have a deficient of two electrons. So if you have that deficiency, suppose if I am giving the two electron, there should exist octet. Octet means how many electrons in the outer shell, means there are totally 8 electrons in the outer shell. That is called the octet. Okay. So the short of 2 electrons for its octet in the valence shell. Those molecule or those atom only we can consider as a B. So if you are taking A as means definitely that atom has an unshared pair of electron. B means a short of 2 electrons for its octet in the valence shell. So next what happened? A donates a electron pair. So how that coordinate covalent bond formed? Now just I am explaining. So A atom donates a electron pair, and whereas B that should accept the electron pair. Okay, that should accept the electron pair. Okay, so A donates the electron pair and B should accept the electron pair. Okay, whenever this acceptation leads to the formation of a coordinate covalent bond. Next we are going to see how the formation of a coordinate covalent bond. Okay, so we are giving that A should have an unshared pair of electron and B should accept those unpaired electron. Okay, let us take the formation of a ammonia molecule with the BF3. Okay, so I will give an example. If I am taking general, just A has a unshared electron pair. A atom has a unshared electron pair. And the B atom should have the short of how many electrons? 2 electrons. So let us take for its octet short of 2 electrons. So we will take 6 electrons in the outer shell. Okay. So A atom has a lone pair of lone pair electrons. B has a short of 2 electrons for its octet. Okay. Now whenever these 2 atoms, if you consider, A has lone pair of electron, unshared pair of electron, that is going to be transferred to the B. Okay, so by using of this only a bond should be formed. How the bond is formed? So if I am taking here A has a one atom, okay, this A atom, and B has a another atom. Okay, now B has how many electron? Means there are 6 electrons in the B, and A 2 electron. Those 2 electrons is transferred to the B. Okay, so here this is called a bond formation. Those 2 electrons involved in the bond formation, that is transferring to the B atom. Okay, and already there are 6 electrons in the B atom. By gaining of these 2, okay, it will exist a octet arrangement. So the B atom exists a octet arrangement. Okay, getting of 8 electron. Simply we can give this by using of a bond formation. I can give A gives that B. This is called a coordinate covalent bond. Okay, so this mechanism I can explain with the examples by taking ammonia, okay, and BF3 molecule. Here ammonia NH3, and if you take a BF3, in BF3 molecule it is an electron deficient center, so that will be acting as a Lewis acid. Here electron rich nitrogen atom, that will be acting as a Lewis base. So here what happened in NH3 molecule, the nitrogen, okay, the nitrogen has lone pair of electron. Okay, in a molecule, this is called a dative bond molecule. So here the nitrogen has a how many electron pair? Only one electron pair. This is extra. those paired electron, it is going to be involved in the bond formation with the BF3. So here BF3 the boron, okay, it is short of 2 electrons for its octet. So you will take this BF3 as a Lewis acid, electron deficient center. Now what happened? This one lone pair of electron, it is going to be entirely shared with the BF3 molecule. So this BF3 molecule, okay, this is short of 2 electrons, okay, for its octet. So now we are taking a molecule, one is ammonia molecule, another one is a BF3 molecule. Now the lone pair of electron, it is completely going to be transferred to the BF3 molecule. By using of this, we will get NH3 coordinate covalent bond with the BF3. Okay, so there should be a coordinate covalent bond formed between the ammonia and BF3. So originally the bond can be formed, okay, entirely the transferring of a lone pair of electron on the nitrogen to the BF3 molecule. That gives a coordinate covalent bond. This is an example of a coordinate covalent bond. Okay. So now next we are going to see about a characteristic of a covalent bond, that is coordinate covalent bond. So okay, let us take the physical state first. So if you take the physical state, all coordinate covalent bond can exist in all three states. That is, we can take solid, liquid and gaseous state. There are three states of compound that will be available. And second one, we can take a conductivity. That is, if I am taking a conductivity, okay, what about the conductive nature? Like your covalent compound, this coordinate covalent bond also, okay, like your covalent bond, here coordinate covalent bond also having poor conductivity. Okay, so here it is like covalent bond, coordinate covalent bond also bad conductor. So whether conductivity exhibits means it is not possible to exist the conductivity. So conductivity is poor, that is bad conductors. Okay. And next, what about the melting and the boiling point? Melting and the boiling point. Okay. So if you take a melting and a boiling point, again there will be comparison with the covalent bond, ionic bond. There are two bonds. Okay, we are going to compare. If you compare with the covalent bond, generally the melting point and the boiling point, okay, are coordinate covalent bond. That should be higher. That is, the melting and the boiling point of a coordinate covalent bond, that should be greater compared with the normal covalent bond. So if I am taking comparison with the covalent and the coordinate covalent bond, so a coordinate covalent bond should have a high melting and boiling point. The same situation, if I am going to compare the coordinate covalent bond with the ionic bond, that is, the melting point and boiling point of, okay, coordinate covalent bond. Okay, so that should be compared with the ionic bond. Okay. So we know that ionic bond means there should be the transferring of electron from one atom to the another atom. That creates ions. Okay, because of that the melting point and the boiling point will be what? Always higher. So if you compare the melting and boiling point of coordinate covalent bond, okay, that should be less compared with the ionic bond. So generally the bond nature, so the melting and boiling point of ionic bond should be greater. The next that will come coordinate covalent bond, and the least is what? Covalent bond. So that is the character of a melting and a boiling point. Next we will see about a solubility. If you take a coordinate covalent compound, okay, that compound that should be whether it is soluble in polar solvent or non-polar solvent, means it should be insoluble in polar solvent. So insoluble in polar solvent. Usually polar solvent we can take water. A good example, polar solvent. But coordinate covalent compounds are insoluble in polar solvent but soluble in, okay, non-polar solvent. So what are the non-polar solvent we can consider? That is, we can take C6H6, that is benzene. Okay, that should be a non-polar solvent. And C6H5CH3, the name of the compound is toluene, that is acting as a non-polar solvent. Okay, so generally the coordinate covalent compound that should be insoluble in polar solvent but there should be soluble in a non-polar solvent like benzene and toluene. And what about the reactions? So if you take reactions, generally this coordinate covalent compound involved in many reactions. Many reactions. Okay. So what about the characteristic? Means first we are discussing about the physical state. The states, there are 3 states available, the compound will be present. Whereas the conductivity covalent bond like the coordinate covalent bond also bad conductor. Melting and boiling point we are going to compare with the covalent bond with the coordinate covalent bond. Same way ionic bond with the coordinate covalent bond. And solubility, whether it is insoluble in polar solvent whereas soluble in a non-polar solvent, and whether it is involved in the reaction means coordinate covalent bond compound, those compound involved in many reactions. Okay. And today we have discussed only about a coordinate covalent bond. And what is coordinate covalent bond? An example for the coordinate covalent bond, just I have given a ammonia with boron trifluoride. Okay, so NH3 with the BF3 bond formation I have explained. So thank you.